What's up, everybody? This is the Healing Kings podcast, and today is an episode that I'm doing because I get this question asked a lot on social media. So, people are asking about creating a podcast or just creating a YouTube channel, and my advice in a nutshell is start with whatever you have. If all you have is a phone, start with that. Now, why do I say that? Why do I just tell you to start with what you have and you see me here with a mic? Okay, so first I want to let you know that I did not start here. I started off with a phone. And then eventually, I think I was using, I don't know how Apple had it at a time where I was using like the little small headphones. I was using those headphones and that gave me my mic. Eventually, I got like a $45 mic as a gift and I used that. But what I was just using was, uh, it's not even an app, it's in the iPhones called Voice Memo. And I didn't know back in the day, I would just use that to remember stuff. So I would just send myself a voice note to remember something, but I ended up using that. And all I did was I would use not Venmo, I would use Voice Memo, and then I would upload it to something that was called Anchor at the time, which is now called Spotify Podcast. But you can start off with just what you have and then work your way up. The beauty of just starting off with what you have and then working your way up is that your audience feels like they're on the journey with you. I wish I thought about this when I first started. If I knew I would have taken it this serious, I would have did something like this. I would have told people, hey, this is my first couple months. Right now, you're hearing me. The audio is not as good, but the message is going to be great. So stick with me. I'm going to eventually get a new mic. Somebody could have donated. Somebody could have had a mic they wanted to give you. You could have got one from Facebook Market if you couldn't afford a new one. There were so many options. I didn't know. So for you, take that. If you're just starting a podcast or a YouTube channel, go ahead. Just tell them where you're at, where you want to be. I always say I want to eventually have my own mini studio. I want a cozy, good-looking studio, good lights where I can go in and just press a button and it just starts. Or somebody else could go in, press a button, and it just starts. I don't have that now, but I want that later on. So I would just start with that. I would let the audience take the journey with you. What you'll realize is that they'll appreciate the realness, the transparency, and just the vulnerability to say, hey guys, I'm just starting. And I do have a message. And as I upgrade my equipment and I upgrade my talent and work on my craft, I want you to come along for the ride. So start with what you have. The second thing is your phone can do a whole lot more than you think. Right? There's tons of YouTube videos about what to do with the phone for cameras and everything like that. I'm not going to go into details about that, but you literally could just get your phone, put it in front of you, and shoot. Now, you can get certain tripods where it's like an arm on a table. I'm using one of those right now. But before that, I just had when I film at other places, I just have this little tripod. I think it costs $10. I set the phone in front of me and I just go. I'm saying all this so you don't have an excuse of why you can't go ahead and just do what you want to do. So if you don't have a mic yet, just use the phone. Just tell them the audio. It's not going to be as crispy yet, but I'm going to get a good mic. And then if you don't have like a camera, use your phone. I like shooting with a phone still to this day because it's just easy. I can just plug it in, press that. Now, if you want to start upgrading some things, that's different. But I don't actually advise somebody to go and spend thousands of dollars and they don't know if they're even going to get to episode 40 or 50 or 10. Like if you don't know you're going to keep doing this, just shooting out the park and going for getting like the roadcaster and all that stuff, they're good. They're super good. But I don't want you to waste your money. So ask yourself, do I have some headphones maybe just so I can hear myself if I'm using the mic, right? And then do I have a mic that I want to use or not? Do I have a phone? If I got those three, I can start. Now, here is the tip I really, really want to give you. You're going to feel some days like you're running out of episodes. There are certain things you can do. If you email me, I'll send you something I made a long time ago, 50 podcast ideas. This way, if you were doing one a week, you're covered for 50 weeks. And I made that about 3 years ago for people who were starting podcasts. But what you want to think about is you're gonna run out of days. You're gonna run into days where you feel like you don't know what to talk about. So pre-plan some of your episodes based on what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about fashion, plan out some subjects about fashion. Something I would do if I was talking about fashion is how to make fashion affordable, how to make fashion if you want to spend a bag, how to get into the fashion industry, top 5 fashion magazines, top 5 fashion moguls. I would just break down all of those things into many subjects, and then I will go after it like that. But you're gonna run out if you just think that every day or every time you shoot, you're gonna just be like just sharp. It's not gonna happen like that. It's not gonna happen like that. The next thing with that is if you can and when you can, batch record, which means if I'm gonna have a day where I'm gonna be doing podcasting, right? If I can shoot more than one episode, it's a lot better than just shooting one episode every time I do this setup. My setup right now in my house, in my room, is literally I try to shoot 2 small ones at least 4 to 5 days a week. I'm going to record a video at least 6 days a week, but I try to shoot 2 on certain days. Why? I already have the setup. I can press record. As soon as I finish the first one, all I got to do is take a couple seconds to breathe, catch my breath, get ready for the next topic, and just go. If you're batch recording, a little tip you can do, you don't have to, you can do this, is if you're wearing the same outfit, you can switch maybe your hat or switch the shirt and one seeing your pants right now. Switch the hat, switch the shirt so it looks like a whole different episode. Because people will start thinking if they only see that brown shirt for 5 weeks in a row, they're going to think, oh, it's the same exact episode and I've already heard it. It doesn't mean they're not paying attention to it, but they're going to think I already heard it, so I don't need to listen to it again. You can batch record. So if you can, when you set up, think about how can I get more than one episode in at a time. Next thing you want to do or you can think about is if you can, right? If you're recording through a phone or a camera, you don't have a cameraman, something like that, see if you can screenshot some pictures out of that episode and you can use that as a thumbnail. Or you can go in Canva or Adobe Photoshop and make your thumbnail. You can go on Fiverr and pay them to make a thumbnail. There's tons of things you can do. But what you want to think about is I want to just keep this process as simple as I can until I get in the groove, and then I can go ahead and complicate things. I don't like doing things that have big barriers at first. I want to make sure that the barrier is low so I can get in the game and make it work and get after it. So that's what I have for you guys today. Now, if you're listening to this, I'm going to link some tools that you could use, maybe some equipment stuff that you can get and use. If you want to start upgrading, I'll list them from the lowest price to the highest price. And remember, you can start off with just your phone. You can start off with just your phone. A person who I love listening to a lot, his name is Justin Sua. Justin Sua it's an audio podcast. It's not visual, and they're about 3 minutes long, and they're good. They're packed with information. His 3-minute podcasts are actually better than some hour podcasts. They're punchy. They're to the point, and he's putting out I think 2 times a week. Pretty sure if he's not using a big setup, I'm pretty sure he could do something similar with a phone. If you're going to go the route of just doing the phone and never getting on video, just using your phone to upload audio, I would say think about investing into a good mic so your audio is crispy. So your audio is really good, because the last thing you want to do if you're taking it seriously eventually is be shooting a year from now and no one can really hear anything that you're saying. So guys, that's the episode for today. If you're thinking about starting a podcast or a YouTube channel, go do it, man. Go do it. A last trick. I just got so much tricks for you guys. If you do a video, if you shoot a video, you can also just upload that as audio. This way you have some video for social media or for YouTube, for LinkedIn, for emails, and then you have your audio that you can use for your audio podcast. Rather than that, guys, not rather, other than that, go be great.